Hello, good morning to all of my defense listeners, video viewers, and video people, and the learners of English. I, Ajay Sharma, welcome you to my this session once more. As you know, that I have started a series of short stories to improve our English to the extent level, to the advanced level. That's why I have again brought a new one to you. This is not a short story. This is an essay. I have picked it up from 12th standard book called Prose. So I hope you will be watching the videos. From here, I am going to diversify our reading practice, because in order to be very eloquent speaker in English and very good speaker of English language, so we will have to go through the all type of content, be it short story, be it prose, be it poetry, be it any type of language, English language newspaper, anything. So I will bring to you every type of content of English language so that you can feel motivated and feel confident in every field of English. So I hope you will be watching the video, sharing, commenting, so that your feedback can make me very enthusiastic to put my best to videos and keep our journey on. So I hope you will be watching, and if you are new to this channel, please do the same, subscribe the channel, be the member of this journey, and keep watching. So come, let us get started from here. Here we go. The Lost Spring. Stories of Stolen Childhood. Anees Jung. Anees Jung, I hope you are aware of this name. Anees Jung, please do remember this name, Anees Jung. Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Childhood, Anees Jung. Have a look about the author. Anees Jung, 1964, was in Roorkela, and spent her childhood and adolescence in Hyderabad. Hyderabad is a city lies in Telangana's capital city, Hyderabad. She received her education in Hyderabad and in the United States of America. Her parents were both writers. Anees Jung began her career as a writer in India. She has been an editor and columnist of major newspapers in India and abroad, and has authored several books. Several books means many books. The following is an excerpt. Excerpt means a taken portion of or a taken part of. Okay, is an part taken from her book titled Lost Spring: Stories of Stolen Childhood. Here, she analyzes the grinding poverty and traditions which condemn these children to a life of exploitation. Exploitation means शोषण करना. Shoshan means unfair use of somebody or something. Okay, if you are using anybody for your selfishness, it means you are exploiting that person. So exploitation means to treat someone unfairly. Okay, शोषण करना. Poverty means गरीबी. Okay, so come, let us have a look about the lesson. The story Lost Spring describes the pitiable condition of poor children who have been forced to miss the joy of childhood due to the socio-economic conditions that prevails in the man-made world. The Lost Spring describes करता है pitiable condition, दयनीय condition of poor children who have been, जिनको force किया जाता रहा है to miss the joy of childhood due to the socio-economic condition. Socio-economic condition means सामाजिक आर्थिक स्थिति that prevails in the man-made world, in this man-made world, जो इस भौतिक संसार में, man-made world means मानव निर्मित संसार में प्रिवेल करती है ये सोशो इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन, उसके शिकार हुए कुछ बच्चे. ओके, एक्सप्लॉइट किया गया उनको. दीज चिल्ड्रंस आर डिनाइड द अपॉर्चुनिटी ऑफ स्कूलिंग एंड फोर्स्ड इनटू लेबर अर्ली इन लाइफ. दीज चिल्ड्रंस डिनाइड, इनको डिनाई किया गया द अपॉर्चुनिटी से वंचित कर दिया गया. अपॉर्चुनिटी मीन्स चांसेस. ओके, स्कूलिंग के चांसेस, और इनको लेबर पे लगा दिया गया बहुत ही छोटे ही समय में, छोटी ही उम्र में. This chapter starts from here. Here we go. Sometimes I find a rupee in a garbage. Garbage means the rubbish, sewage, or you can say dirty garbage. Okay, garbage or sewage, or you can say rubbish. Why do you do this? I ask Sahib, whom I encounter every morning, scrounging for gold. Scrounging means scrounger से भिखारी को कहते हैं, भिक्षुक, scrounger भिक्षुक को. So why do you do this? I ask Sahib, whom I encounter. Whom I encounter means whom I confront, whom I meet. I meet every morning scrounging for gold in the garbage dumps of my neighborhood. Sahib left his home long ago, set amidst the green fields of Dhaka. His home is not even a distant memory. Even a distant memory. There were many storms that swept away their fields and homes. His mother tells him that's why they left, looking for gold in the big city where he now lives. I have nothing else to do, he mutters, looking away. Go to school, I say glibly. Say glibly means say softly. Realizing immediately how hollow the advice must sound. There is no school in my neighborhood. When they build one, I will go. If I start a school, will you come? I ask, half joking. Yes, he says, smiling broadly. A few days later, I see him running up to me. Is your school ready? It takes longer to build a school, I say. Embarrassed means ashamed at having made a promise that was not meant. But promises like mine wound in every corner of his bleak world. Every corner of his bleak world. Bleak means नीरस. उसके नीरस संसार में जो हमने promises किए थे, उसके नीरस संसार में रस भर दिया उन्होंने. बहुत ही हर उसके जो उसने एक इमेजिन किया था, उस इमेजिनेशन में खोया हुआ था. तो हमारे प्रोमिसेस ने उसके अंदर एक झलक जगा दी थी. After months of knowing him, I asked him his name. साहिबे आलम, he announced. उसने कहा मेरा नाम साहिबे आलम है. He does not know that it means. He does not know what does it mean. उसको ये नहीं पता था इसका मतलब क्या है. If he knew its meaning, Lord of the universe, संसार का जो अल्लाह है उसका नाम होता है लॉर्ड साहिबे आलम. He would have a hard time believing it. शायद वो इसे बिलीव करने पर थोड़ा रुकता, सोच में पड़ जाता. Unaware of what his name represents, he roams the streets with a friends, an army of barefoot boys who appear like our morning birds and despair at noon. Over the months, I have come to recognize each of them. Why aren't you wearing chappals? I ask one. My mother did not bring them down from the shelf. He answers simply. Even if she did, he will throw them off, adds another who is wearing shoes that do not match. When I comment on it, he shuffles his feet and says nothing. I want shoes, says the third one, who has never owned a pair all his life. Traveling across the country, I have seen children walking barefoot in cities on village roads. It is not lack of money, but a tradition of stay barefoot is one explanation. I wonder if this only an excuse to explain anyway a perpetual state of poverty. Perpetual state of poverty means जो poverty गरीबी थी वो perpetual थी, continuous, which will never end, perpetual. Okay. I remember a story a man from Udupi once told me. As a young boy, he would go to school past an old temple where his father was a priest. He would stop briefly at the temple and pray for a pair of shoes. 30 years later, 30 years later, I visited the town and the temple, which was now drowned in an air of dissolution. In the backyard, where lived a new priest, there were red and white plastic chairs. A young boy dressed in a grey uniform, wearing socks and shoes, arrived painting means hafte hue, arrived panting and threw his school bag on a folding bed. Looking at the boy, I remembered the prayer another boy had made to the goddess when he had finally got a pair of shoes. Let me never lose them. The goddess had granted his prayer. Young boys like the son of the priest now wore shoes, but many others like the rag pickers. Rag pickers means कूड़ा उठाने वाले लोग. Rag pickers in my neighborhood remain shoeless. My acquaintance with the barefoot rag pickers leads me to Simapuri, a place on the periphery of Delhi. Periphery means boundary, around Delhi के around, yet miles away from it, metaphorically. Those who live here are squatters. Squatters who came from Bangladesh back in 1971. Saheb's family is among them. Simapuri was then a wilderness. Wilderness means मतलब जंगली था, बिल्कुल कुछ था ही नहीं वहाँ पे, सब उजड़ा हुआ. Wilderness. It still is, but it is no longer empty. It is structures of mud with roofs of tin and tarpaulin. Tarpaulin means tarpal. Devoid of sewage, drainage, and running water, lived 10,000 rag pickers. 10,000 rag pickers वहाँ पर रहते थे. They have lived there for more than 30 years without an identity. उनके पास कोई आइडेंटिटी नहीं. 30 years रहते हुए हो गए थे उनके पास कोई आइडेंटिटी नहीं थी. Without permits, but with ration cards that give their names on voter lists and enable them to buy grain. Food is more important than survival than an identity. If at the end of the day we can feed our families and go to bed without an aching stomach means ache means पीड़ा, anguish, पीड़ा जो पेट में होती है, पीड़ा, aching stomach, we would rather live here than in the fields that gave us no grain. Say a group of women in tattered saris. When I asked them why they left their beautiful land of green fields and rivers, whenever they find food, they pitch their tents that become transit homes. Children grow up in them, becoming partners in survival, and survival in Simapuri means rag picking. Through the years, it has acquired proportions. Acquired means हासिल कर लिया. Acquired a proportions of fine art. Garbage to them is gold. गार्बेज टू देम इज गोल्ड। गार्बेज जो उनके लिए था वो गोल्ड था, सोना था। इट इज़ देयर डेली ब्रेड। यही उनकी रोज़ की रोटी रोज़ी थी। A roof over their head, even if it is a leaking roof, but for a child it is a even more. I sometimes find a rupee, even a 10 rupee note, Sahib says, his eyes lightening up. When you can find a silver coin in a cheap of garbage, you don't stop scrounging for there is hope of finding more. It seems that for children, garbage has a meaning different from what it means to their parents. For a children, it is a wrapped in wonder. For the elders, it is a means survival. One winter morning, I see Sahib standing by the fenced gate of the neighborhood club, watching two young men dressed in white playing tennis. I like the game, he hums. Content means satisfied. Content to वॉच इट। देख, कंटेंट के दो मतलब होते हैं। एक तो कंटेंट मतलब जो हम कंटेंट पढ़ रहे हैं, एक कंटेंट मतलब यू आर कंटेंटेड विद, इट मीन्स यू आर सेटिस्फाइड विद। ओके, कंटेंटेड टू नॉट कंटेंटेड विद, कंटेंटेड टू वॉच इट स्टैंडिंग बिहाइंड द फेंस। फेंस मीन्स एक छोटी सी दीवार होती है ना, फेंस जो छत के ऊपर छत होती है, रूफ होती है, वहाँ पर चारों तरफ बाउंड्री करा देते हैं, उसे फेंस कहते हैं, फेंस। I go inside when no one is around, he admits. The gatekeeper lets me use the swing. Sahib too is wearing tennis shoes that look strange over his discolored shirt and shorts. Someone gave them to me, he says in the manner of an explanation. The fact that they are discarded shoes of some rich boy who perhaps refused to wear them because of a hole in one of them does not bother him. For one who has walked barefoot, even shoes with a hole is a dream come true. But the game he is watching so intently is out of his reach. This morning, Sahib is on his way to the milk booth. In his hand is a steel canister. Steel canister. I now work in a tea stall down the road, he says, pointing in the distance. I am paid 100 rupee and all my meals. Does he like the job? Does he like the job? I ask. His face, I see, has lost the carefree look. The steel canister seems heavier than the plastic bag he would carry so lightly over his shoulders. The bag was his. The canister belongs to the man who owns the tea shop. Sahib is no longer his own master. I want to drive a car. Mukesh insisted on being his own master. I will be a motor mechanic, he announced. Do you know anything about cars? I ask. I will learn to drive a car, he answers, looking straight into my eyes. His dream looms like a mirage amidst. Mirage means which is very difficult to understand. Mirage amidst the dust of streets that fill his town Firozabad, फेमस फॉर इट्स बेंगल्स। फिरोजाबाद बेंगल्स चूड़ियों के लिए फेमस है। एवरी अदर फैमिली इन फिरोजाबाद इज इंगेज्ड इन मेकिंग बेंगल्स। इट इज़ अ सेंटर ऑफ इंडियाज glass blowing industry where families have spent generations working around few furnaces, welding glass, making bangles for all the women in the land, it seems. Mukesh family is among them. One of them know that it is illegal for children like him to work in the glass furnaces with high temperatures in dingy cells without air and light, that the law, if enforced, could get him and all those 20,000 children out of the hot furnaces where they slog their daylight hours, often losing the brightness of their eyes. Mukesh's eyes beam as a volunteers as he volunteers to take me home, which he proudly says is being rebuilt. We walk down sticking lanes choked with garbage, past homes that remain hobs with crumbling walls, Beverly doors, no windows, crowded with families of humans and animals coexisting in the primeval state. He stops at the door of one such house, bangs a wobbly iron door with his foot, and pushes it open. We enter a half built shack. In one part of it, thatched with dead grass, it is firewood stove over which sit a large vessel of sizzling spinach leaves. Spinach means spinach sag, methi, spinach leaves. On the ground, in large aluminium platters, are more chopped vegetables. A frail young woman is cooking the evening meal for the whole family. Through eyes filled with smoke, she smiles. She is the wife of Mukesh's elder brother, not much older in years. She has begun to command respect as the respect as the Bahu, the daughter in law of the house, already in charge of three men, her husband, Mukesh, and their father. When the older man enters, she gently withdraws behind the broken wall and brings her veil closer to her face, as custom demands. Daughter in laws must veil their face before male elders. In this case, the elder is an impoverished Bengal maker. Despite long years of hard labor, first as a tailor, then a Bengal maker, he has failed to renovate a house, send his two sons to school. All, all he has managed to do is teach them what he knows, the art of making bangles. It is his karma, his destiny, says Mukesh's grandmother, who has watched her own husband go blind with the dust from polishing the glass of bangles. Can a god give can a god given lineage ever be broken? She implies, born in the castle of Bengal's makers. They have seen nothing but Bengals in the house, in the yard, in every other house, every other yard, every street in Firozabad, spirals of Bengals, sunny cloud gold, paddy green, royal blue, pink purple, every color worn out of the seven colors of the rainbow, lie in mounds in unkept yards, are piled or four-wheeled handcarts, pushed by young men along the narrow lanes of the shanty town, and in dark hutments next to lines of flames of flickering oil lamps, sit boys and girls with their fathers and mothers, welding pies of colored glass into circles of bangles. Their eyes are more adjusted to the dark than the light outside. That is why they often end up losing their eyesight before they become adults. Savita, a young girl in a draped pink dress, sits alongside an elderly woman soldering pieces of glass. As her hands move mechanically like the tongues of a machine, I wonder if she knows the sanctity of the Bengals she helps make. It symbolizes an Indian suhag, woman's suhag, auspiciousness in marriage. It will dawn, dawn on her suddenly one day when her head is draped with a red veil, her hands dried red and henna means mehndi, and red bangles rolled onto her wrists. She will then become a bride. Like the old woman beside her, who became one many years ago, she still has bangles on her wrist, but no light in their eyes. एक वक्त से शेर भर खाना भी नहीं खाया एक वक्त शेर भर खाना भी नहीं खाया, she says in a voice drained of joy. She had no enjoyed even one full meal in their entire lifetime. That's what she had reaped. She has reaped. Her husband, an old man with a flowing beard, says, "I know nothing except bangles. All I have done is make a house for the family to live in." Hearing him, one wonders if he has achieved what many have failed in their lifetime. He has a roof over his head. The cry of not having money to do anything except carrying on the business of making bangles, not even enough to eat, rings in every home. The young men echo the lament of their elders. Little has moved with time. It seems in Firozabad, years of mind numbing toil means hard work, has killed all initiative and the ability to dream. Why not organize yourself into a corporation? I ask a group of young men who have fallen into the voice circle and middlemen who trapped their fathers and forefathers. Even If we get organized, we are the ones who will be hauled up by the police, beaten and dragged to jail for doing something illegal, they say. There is no leader among them, no one who could help them see things differently. Their fathers are as tired as they are. They talk endlessly in a spiral that moves from poverty to apathy, to greed and to injustice. Listening to them, I see two distinct words: one of family caught in a web of poverty, burdened by the stigma of caste in which they are born. The other a vicious circle of the sahukars, the middlemen, the policemen, the keepers of law, the bureaucrats, and the politicians. Together they have imposed the baggage on the child that he cannot put down before he is aware. He accepts it as naturally as his father. To do anything else would mean to dare, and daring is not part of his growing up. When I sense a flash of it in Mukesh, I am cheered. I want to be a motor mechanic, he repeats. He will go to a garage and learn. What? The garage is a long way from his home. I will walk, he insists. Do you also dream of flying a plane? He is suddenly silent. No, he says, staring at the ground. In his small murmur, there is an embarrassment that has not yet turned into regret. He is he is content to dream of cars that he sees hurtling down the streets on his town. Few aeroplanes fly over Firozabad. So this is an extract. This is not the whole full chapter. This is an extract from the book she wrote. So this was all about this chapter. I will bring the full video once. Please watch it, and I will bring the whole chapter of it. So keep watching. Have a look about the words. Garbage means rubbish or sewage or kuda karkat, kachra. Encounter means happen to meet or to meet someone or to encounter, to confront someone. Okay. Garbage clumps, the rubbish points, the place where garbage and rubbish and sewage is thrown. Set means situated. Okay. Broadly, openly. Embarrassed means ashamed. To make someone ashamed means he is embarrassed. Okay. Bleak means cheerless or dull, nearest, without cheer. Shuffle, wringle. Shuffle means wringle, to wringle something. Lake means shortest, wander, think, past, go along, drowned, submerged, air, impression. Priest, vicar, acquaintance, introduction, leads, takes, metamorphically using metaphor, लाक्षणिक रूप से. Wilderness means wasteland without any, or you can say barren land. Fenced means cordoned off means बाड़ लगा देना, cordoned off. content means satisfied, around, near about, admit, accept, strange, awkward, discolored, fade, shorts, half pants, insists, say emphatically, insist, say emphatically, with great mm, voice, straight, direct, looms, appear, mirage, illusion, cell, small room, enforce, apply, beam, brighten up, sinking, smiling wet, destiny, fate, God given, God given, given by God, lineage, ancestry, okay, lineage, ancestry, बंश परंपरा के, बेल्डिंग means to join piece of metal, brave, not attractive, alongside, beside. So this was all about this, the word meanings. Shoulder, belt, shoulder, this is not shoulder, soldier, shoulder, okay. Tongs, forceps, chimta, forceps. Distinct, clear, beb, net, put down, get off, plane, aeroplane. So this was all about this chapter mean. I hope you have understood it. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time.